Choices, choices, choices. We are surrounded by choices all the time. Should I eat healthy or should I order KFC? Should I read a book or let me go watch that movie? Should I watch this on Netflix or that on Amazon Prime? Should I buy some new clothes or am I okay with what I have? Or what should I wear today? I have so many clothes but nothing to wear. Every time, every minute, every second that our brain is active, alive, kicking, it is making choices. And it's not easy, right? We all know that. We've all been through that. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि सुबह उठ के अगर ऑफिस जाने के लिए कोई कपड़े निकालने हैं तो इट बिकम्स सो हार्ड. इस वीडियो को रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए मेरे को अगर कोई टी शर्ट पहननी है, इट बिकम्स सो हार्ड. आज मैंने ये वाली शर्ट डाली है, आज वीडियो रिकॉर्ड नहीं करते, लेट्स डू इट सम अदर टाइम. एंड ऑल द टाइम आवर ब्रेन इज गोइंग थ्रू दीज चॉइसेस. These choices are based on what we've learned through our life, what our parents have taught us, what our environment has taught us. The choices are also based on our beliefs, our perceptions. हम कौन हैं, हम कौन बनना चाहते हैं, और इस चक्कर में choices become so hard to do. As a child, we have so many choices, right? So many types of ice cream to eat. Should I study or should I look at my computer game? Should I watch TV or should I go out and play with my friends? All the time we have choices. As we grow up, choices become even harder. Netflix. Doesn't it happen to you sometimes where you're scrolling and you're thinking that today I'll find something to watch very quickly, but 10 minute की scrolling के बाद you have nothing to watch. There's so many titles on Netflix and you have nothing to watch. And many years ago, if you're old enough to remember that, there used to be 1 or 2 channels on TV and you were happy with whatever programs were coming on that. And today you have so many choices, but it's so hard to do it. So ये choices होती क्या हैं और इन choices के बारे में क्या हम सीख सकते हैं? Let's go through that today. So one thing is that when we have a lot of options, then हमारे brain को it gets a choice overload. It is the stimulus is so high for us that हमें समझ नहीं आता कि what do we want to choose. We keep going through जो मिल रहा है हमें, जो दिख रहा है हमें, पर हमें समझ नहीं आता कि क्या हमें actually चाहिए. दैट्स द फर्स्ट प्रॉब्लम. एंड ये हर जगह है. स्विगी पे खाने के लिए, नेटफ्लिक्स और अमेजोन प्राइम पे, जोमेटो पे, पढ़ाई करते समय, करियर वाइज, हर तरीके से देयर इज सो मच टू डू. बट एवरी टाइम द ब्रेन ट्राइज टू मेक अ डिसीजन, इट इज़ यूजिंग सम एनर्जी. एवरी टाइम यू आर आस्किंग योर ब्रेन टू चूज समथिंग, इट इज़ यूजिंग इट्स प्रोसेसेस. एंड जितनी बार ब्रेन को सारे दिन में करना पड़ता है, उतना ब्रेन के लिए मुश्किल हो जाता है. इसीलिए देयर आर सर्टन लीडर्स हु just make it very simple for themselves. For example, Steve Jobs, वो हर टाइम एक ब्लैक कलर के स्वेटर में, टर्टल नेक में दिखते थे. Mark Zuckerberg made a decision that he'll wear only grey t-shirts and jeans. Barack Obama, जो president थे United States के, he once said that I only have grey and black suits in my wardrobe, and so it makes it very easy to come to work every day. The more choices we have, the harder it becomes to choose. अब इसका solution क्या है? सोल्यूशन हम अभी थोड़ी देर में डिस्कस करते हैं, बट उससे पहले जब हम कोई भी चॉइस लेते हैं तो हमारे ब्रेन में क्या एक्टिविटी होती है. अगर 2 चीज़ें हमारे सामने रखी हैं खाने के लिए और हमें कोई एक नई चीज़ उनमें से चूज़ करनी है जो हमने कभी पहले टेस्ट नहीं करी है, देन आवर ब्रेन इज थिंकिंग इफ़ आई मेक द रॉन्ग चॉइस राइट नाउ, आई हैव टू बी विद दैट, एंड मे बी मेरे को वो नहीं खाना तो फिर दूसरा नहीं खा सकूँगा, एक ही चीज़ परचेज कर सकता हूँ. सो देयर इज़ ऑलवेज अ फियर दैट आवर ब्रेन गोज थ्रू व्हेन वी मेक अ चॉइस. देयर इज़ एन अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ ऑल्सो रिग्रेट कि ओह मैंने ये चूज़ कर लिया, अगर मैंने वो चूज़ किया होता तो लाइफ कितनी डिफरेंट होती. करियर्स के बारे में वी ऑल हैव दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन. इफ़ आफ्टर क्लास 12th आई वुड हैव डन समथिंग एल्स, देन माई लाइफ वुड हैव बीन वेरी डिफरेंट. If I would have decided to move to another country, my life would have been very different. And so we start to regret our choices. And then once we start to regret, then it's a whole emotional turmoil. हमें उसके बारे में एंजाइटी होती है, कभी एंगर होता है, and the choices leads to a negative emotion in our head, in our heart, which is not a great place to be. So now the question is that we've spoken about these choices, but how do you decide what choice to make? How do you make it simple? How do you make it something that your brain does not have to go through hoops to make a decision and make a choice? So we can speak about this in 2 parts, and today I'm going to speak on like the first one, which is like a brief understanding of how to make these simple choices, the daily living kind of choices, and then there could be a conversation on the larger choices. Career decide karna, what education to get, what job to take, which country to move to, what is like a long-term habit that you want to build based on how you want to live your life. So that could be a completely different conversation. But right now, to make it simple for you to make these very simple choices, I'm going to give you a few examples, but there are 4 concrete steps and then one overarching theme. The first one is just cut down and minimalize your choices. And what I mean by that is that instead of getting into Swiggy and then thinking of what all do you want to eat, instead of doing that, decide first, what do you want to eat today? And maybe you'll say Italian, or maybe you'll say XYZ. And then you get into Swiggy and just look at those choices. Don't get distracted by the choices that are otherwise present. So cut down on your choices. When you're thinking of clothes that you want to wear, cut down, make it simple. Shirts versus tops, specific colors, maybe colors for the days. And yes, someone can say that, oh, that'll make my life monotonous, but maybe it'll not. So think about that. The second is to just simplify the choice making process. Let me give you an example. For example, I love this Greek yogurt that comes from Epigamia or other companies, and it's very healthy. So I like to eat that with my granola every morning. Now it has different flavors. It has mango, it has strawberry, it has raspberry, it has wild berry, and so on and so forth. So now you have so many choices. Which one should I eat today? What I do is I order 5 for myself from Monday to Friday, and they're all lined up in the refrigerator. The morning I wake up, I just pick one and eat. So I get 5 different flavors throughout the week, and I don't have to go through the choice making when I'm trying to do that. It becomes a part of me, a habit in a way, and becomes like completely functional for myself. So that's one. So cut down, minimalize, and then create a process and simplify. The third one, which relates to simplifying and creating this process, is to create habits. And now again, you can say that, oh, habits are so boring, but maybe they're not. Maybe they'll make you productive, and maybe they'll not use too many parts of your and processes of your brain to allow you to do different beautiful things. So make it a habit that every night before I sleep, I'll spend 10 minutes doing reading. Every day when I wake up in the morning, I'll go for a run. It's a habit. Again, habit formation takes time, but if you commit to it, if you make a non-negotiable commitment, you will get through it. And the final thing is that you need to pause and reflect. Whenever you're making a choice, just maybe once a week, maybe once a day, maybe once a month, whatever frequency works for you, just stop and think where you're taking your life. What are the choices that you want to make? Who is it that you want to become? Who are you at present? Do you want your behavior to change or not? What you're doing right now, is that working for you or not? And so when you ask these questions of yourself, then many things will become clear to you. And that's something that you have to do for yourself. So these are the 4 steps. Cut down करो, minimal कर दो, जितना आप कम कर सकते हो चीज़ों को उतना अच्छा है. Make it very simple for you to choose between options. Make it a habit. And then finally, pause and reflect every time you want to make a decision on a long-term basis. The final step is awareness, that you have to be very thoughtful about what you choose. If you're thinking that life is some easy walk in the park and whatever choices come my way, I'll just make them like a lottery. It doesn't work like that. You have to be thoughtful about them, but you have to be also aware of who you are, what you want to be, and what impact will these choices have on you in the long term. And so just be mindful of that, and I think that should do the trick. So hopefully this 5-point model would be of value to you. If not, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So put it in the comment section if it works, if it does not work, what is the resistance that you're facing to creating these habits, and I'll be happy to comment and create more videos on that. Next time I'll share with you what are the different choices that I've made in my life and how have they impacted me, and then we'll also speak about how to make these long-term beautiful choices. Till then, take care.